Okay, if you remember from our last class, I said that I would make a video with regards to the mosaic, and the mosaic is for Quetico Provincial Park here, and there's a reason why, and it has to do with Sentinel 2 imagery. Okay, so on LMS, there was a link to this Sci-Hub. It's a Copernicus.eu website. And there, I showed the class how to right-click and draw a polygon after logging in and everything, and setting up things like cloud cover had a very specific way of typing it in, right? And there were different processing levels. L2A is the one that you would want, and remember it's Sentinel 2. I'm just going to search for I need a sensing period, right? There was a fire in Quetico Park in 2021, quite a very large fire, and it's this one right here, fire year of 2021. You can see that it started on the 8th of June in 2021. We've searched for imagery using the Landsat Globus system, right? We found a whole bunch of imagery, and we also found imagery in 2022 post-fire. But the problem with that imagery post-fire is that there were some clouds in it, and what we need to do is we need to use the Sentinel sensor to find completely cloud-free data for the whole footprint of Quetico Provincial Park, and that's no problem. I did. There are a few different scenes that we can choose from, so I'm going to go through the process of showing you how to query for that and find exactly which data set to download and so on. And of course there were some issues with this website in class, and I want to show you that there is another more recent one that we could use. But let's just focus on the fire itself. It was in 2021, so what we need to do is find imagery post-fire, after the fire, but also full leaf on. So the only season that we have to choose from is last year's summer. We'll go from June 1st to September 1st of 2022. So that's our sensing period. That's where we're looking to go. And all I'm doing here is just setting in the parameters. There's my start date, and the end date here we'll do 2022 September 1st. There we go. We're going to look for products. All right, and we've set it up 20% or less cloud. Awesome. I'm going to do the search, clicking on this button, and it's going to search within this area of interest that was drawn. Right, and this is west of Thunder Bay in the Atikokan area. Now look, in class we talked about how the Sentinel sensor is doled out or disseminated in tiles. And of course Quetico Provincial Park falls right on the scene between two tiles. And I can even show you in Arc Pro that this is Quetico Park, and there's some Landsat imagery in the background, and I also have a shapefile showing all of the Sentinel tile areas, and each one of them has a unique identifier. It's alphanumeric, right? So the numeric part is the UTM zone. Quetico Park and Atikokan, Thunder Bay, that's in UTM 15. And the rest of it are those three letters at the end are unique identifiers for the which tile it is, right? It's kind of very similar to the path and row system used by Landsat, or right? Path and row is very similar to this alphanumeric system. So we need UXP and UWP. You can see them right here, UXP, right? And UWP. We should have full coverage of the park. So let's go back and have a look right here and see what we come up with. Now this one here says UWQ. Well, that's not the right one, right? It's kind of difficult to know which ones they are, right? So in class we showed that you can view the product details on this Sci-Hub.Copernicus site, and it kind of gives you an idea as to where things are on the map. And you can zoom in and zoom out on this map right here to see where this product is. Now this isn't the right one because it's too far north. We're looking for this area right here, okay, where my mouse is circling. So we can go through these products. Here's one for, there's Atikokan. This looks to be the west side of the park. Looks pretty good. This is 2022-09-01. Okay, that's not bad, right? And in fact, I have downloaded some data, and I think I do have this date, but I'm going to keep going through just to see what else we have, because this is only one side of the park. This would be the western side of the park. We also need the eastern side of the park right over here. See that? So if I keep going through, there's the eastern side of the park, but oh, there's a few clouds there. So 0901, not going to cut it. Let's keep going. What do we have here? Too far north. This looks good. We do have cloud. It may not be within. So this interface is great for downloading. It's not so great because it crashes. In class it crashed for me, it crashed for others, and I do want to tell you that I have found that the European Space Agency has put together a new environment. So this one here is actually the old one. It's been used for a long time, right? It still does work, and you can log into it, and you can still query for data in this way, and if it works, it's great. But you can also create an account for this one, which is the new one going forth into the future. And there will be, I think the reason why they've done this is because they're connecting to new computers, and they're also involving and subcontracting some of this data dissemination out. So anyhow, I've logged in, and there's actually a browser with this one, which is pretty nice. This is the new system, and you can see that it's at this web page right here, dataspace.copernicus.eu. And what I like about it is that you can visualize the entire tile, and with your area of interest, you can scroll through dates and you can find that area of interest. And what I found was that on the 20th of June 2022, we have pretty much 100% cloud-free data for Quetico Park. So I'm going to find products for this view, and we'll go through it. And what we can see is I need these two right here, the UXP and the UWP. And where are they? 2022 UXP is right here. All I got to do is click the download product button. It should be okay. And see how it actually shows you right here that it's downloading. Once it's ready here, it'll show up in your browser, and then it's actually very, very quick. So that's one. And then here's the other, the UWP. I'm going to download it too. 100% cloud-free data. They're on their way, and they are going. So this is data that's downloading. I'm going to jump away from there because you don't have to watch it download. And we need to talk about the challenge, right? So yeah, we can download two images, but what do you do with them, right? They're two different images, right? I'll show you what I mean. Here's some other data from August the 4th of 2022 that I downloaded, and it's in my Quetico Provincial Park folder I've created because you need to kind of keep things sorted. I've got Pukasa, we've got Sault Ste. Marie, we've got places all over the world for this one sensor, the Sentinel sensor. So this one data set, I have two sides to it. I'm gonna pull them in just so you can have a look and see what it looks like when you bring one tile in. Maybe. My computer's just being a little bit slow. There it is there, right? So that's one tile, and you can see that you can put some symbology on it if you want, and you can see that, okay, we've got full coverage, it looks like we're good, and it looks like there's no clouds. Awesome. And that's one setup. And remember, what you're doing is you're bringing in the metadata layer, and we want the 10 meter ones, right? So I've double clicked, or sorry, I've expanded the metadata layer for each of the Sentinel scenes, and I'm just dragging and dropping the BOA reflectance 10 meter in, right? And you can see that this one, August the 4th, looks like it's completely cloud free, is it? Let's see. Oh, there's a couple of tiny little clouds down here. Not a huge deal. We could probably get away with using this one. Let's just see what's happening over here. Looks like these are ready to go. I'll save this one in the 2022. I'll save the other one once it's ready in the 2022 as well. And I might as well show you this process. See, they've already downloaded quite a bit here, and they're very, very quick to download once they show up here. Let's see if I can find that data. Show it to you. One moment. Imagery. Sentinel, Quetico Park. Here we go. So here's that Quetico Provincial Park folder in just Windows Explorer, okay? And the 2022 folder now has 2 that have been extracted and a bunch that are of a different date. Here's the 0620 there, and there's the 0620 there. So I'm going to just right click on these and extract them. I'm using WinRAR software because it puts it right in a right click menu. 7-zip also will do the same thing. Problem is that at the college you would have to use apps anywhere for 7-zip. And for those of you that have personal computers, I suggest you not only use WinRAR, but that you also use a completely local direct install of ArcGIS Pro on your computers, because you can just use your login from the college to use the software, no problems, and update it and everything, right? So anyways, these are extracting, everything's fine, there they are. Now I have them, they're on my computer, everything's good, and in Arc Pro I can actually have a look at those instead. I'm going to just these 2 I'm going to turn them off for now, and I'm going to bring in the others. Now one thing that you should notice is that my 2022 folder in ArcGIS Pro, it's not showing up there. Why isn't it? Well, you have to refresh. The project is open right now, so it doesn't refresh unless you tell it to. So let's do that. There they are. Here's 2022 0620. Let's see what we've got. One more reflectance layer. There's the left. Okay, or the west. And then here's the east, the UXP. Bring it in. There we go. So these ones, we shall see what we've got. I can just do a quick check on the data. That looks pretty clean, unless those are clouds. Nope. Oh, I'm liking this image. This is a beautiful image, and it's really early in the season too. So I think we're going to use those. Of course, the problem is that when I do the processing, or when I do the symbology on one side, and then I do the symbology on the other side using the same contrast stretch, I'll show you what I mean. If I do a % clip on each, you can see the seam, and it's not so great, right? Let's try to think about how we would want to tackle this. And also, it doesn't look as nice as this, right? This is a nice clean look. We know exactly what we're looking at, and it's a buffer of the park boundaries. Okay, so the tool that we need to use is called Mosaic to New Raster. Okay, and in the next video, that's what I'm going to do. So we've got this data, we've got it in our ArcGIS Pro project, and it's ready to run. Okay, that's it. See you on the next video. I'm going to do it right now.